Could Brian Kelly have kept his job for another week for the LSU-Alabama game?
I mean, I don't know if he could have or not. The way they lost to Texas A&M, I think the wheels were turning. There were multiple reports, and we heard a lot of different things about, was he going to make certain staff changes? Did he push back on other staff changes? I don't think it mattered. I think the way they lost to Texas A&M, they were passing the hat essentially in the luxury suites during the game, saying, "Hey, can you help fund the buyout?" So it didn't matter at that point. And then, the governor gets involved. They have a meeting at the governor's mansion last night. Like, once the governor decides you're fired, you're going to be fired.
Why was this doomed from the beginning?
I just don't think Brian Kelly understood the job he was taking. You go back to the comments after the Florida game where he said the fans are spoiled. Well, of course they're spoiled. The last three coaches at LSU won national titles by year 4. But he made mistakes at the beginning. So he gets there. He fires Tommy Moffitt, their longtime strength coach. Tommy Moffitt was the strength coach for Nick Saban, for Les Miles, for Ed Orgeron. So for 3 national titles. And what does Tommy Moffitt do? He goes and gets the job at Texas A&M with Mike Elko and makes it his life mission to create a tougher team than LSU. And what has happened the last 2 years? In the second half, Texas A&M has annihilated LSU. When you don't recognize you have something special and there are certain things that make the place special and you just dump them right off the bat, you don't understand what you've gotten yourself into.
What's Brian Kelly's future?
I mean, he's 64 years old, so he's told people he wants to coach. My question is, would he take any of the jobs that will hire him right now? And there's a duty to mitigate in his buyout. So he's got a $53 million buyout. If he gets another job, the salary comes off the total for LSU. It's interesting because I think, depending on the interpretation, the duty to mitigate sometimes is almost like an unemployment check. Like, you have to be looking for work. So I think of the B. Arthur scene in History of the World Part 1. Gladiator, did you kill today? Have you tried to kill this week? Like, I think that may be more what there is to it. I mean, listen, Dan, if it were me and somebody handed me $53 million to not work, you would never, ever see me again.
Yeah, but you can't leave the coaching world, community, fraternity this way. That's not the way these guys are wired. That's why we're trying to bring back Urban Meyer. We're trying to bring back Nick Saban. You keep going.
We are, but they're not.
Do you think Urban Meyer is he entertaining the thought of maybe coaching at Penn State?
I think he entertains it for a day or two, and then he thinks, man, that was a lot of work when I was a college football coach. I got a pretty good gig at Fox right now.
Oh, I agree. The same thing with Saban. Everybody goes, well, your first call should be Nick Saban. And I go, Nick Saban is not going to come out of retirement to do this. The current landscape of college football sent him to ESPN.
Yes,
but
exactly.
Brian Kelly at 64, I can't believe this is his last act.
It's going to be interesting because it probably will depend on what sort of jobs he can get. Now, if he winds up back at Central Michigan or that level of job, which is a place he worked on his way up, I just can't imagine him just taking that. And so we'll see. There's going to be a lot of jobs open, Dan. So not just the big ones that are open now, but you could see Tulane open. You could see Memphis open because those coaches went into other jobs. Would Brian Kelly take one of those jobs? I don't know. And that's the tricky part because I don't think he's going to get hired for one of these big ones, especially not after the way things went at LSU.